Hey, thanks for watching 4Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and we're going to do a Gimmicks and Obscurities video right now. And speaking of gimmicks, most of you know probably about the Batman black and white minifigures being marketed through Walmart and other stores in the blind bags. The blind bags, you can't see through them. They're well, they look like this. And they have a piece of cardboard inside them. I've talked about these before. And it makes it hard, makes it a little more difficult for you to, let's figure out what's in there. Can't quite figure it out. But, you know, Wave 3 is out now, and I've got all the ones that I wanted. The only one, I got the Dustin, I can't say his name, Guyan, Mike Mignola, however you want to say it, Gimli, and the Arkham Asylum Batman. Got all those. You can see some of those up here behind me. Well, you can't see them in detail, but you know what I'm saying. The only one I didn't get was the Sean Galloway, which to me, it's this one right here, the less desirable of all of them. He's not one of my favorite artists, and but you know, I was taking another shot because down in the blind bags with the chase figure, the mystery chase figure, or what they call just mystery figure. When I started collecting action figures back in the day when Marvel Legends first started coming out, this would have been around 2002, 2003, I think, and they called them chase figures, the more rare figures. And so anyway, I had all of them. I was taking another shot, and I figured out, well, I gotta. This went really well this last wave because I never got any doubles, and so I thought, take one more shot, get the Sean Galloway figure. Well, I didn't. But as I mentioned, the chase figure, each wave has a chase figure or a mystery figure, and wave 3 was the Joker, the Gimli Joker figure, okay? And so I had him, and really, it was a win-win. I didn't really care. They were all cool figures. I was either going to get the Sean Galloway figure, or I would get the, another great figure. But who would have known, who would have guessed? I don't know what the odds are on this, but I actually got another Gimli Joker mystery figure. Whoops, look out, Joker. Let me see there. There we go. Got 2 of the mystery figures. That's never happened to me before. I've never found 2 of those. Hang on just a second. I'm going to silence this computer over here. There we go. And so anyway, there's a gimmick for you and a stroke of luck for me. Now, here's the thing about these. They're not really doing much online. I mean, people are asking $10, $12, even $18 for the mystery figures. I haven't noticed that they're actually going for that. And with the price point at $5 a pop, you want to at least you get that back, and then you got to pay for shipping. These just aren't really a great eBay item as far as I'm concerned, but unless you get the whole set in a box. And so anyway, one will be displayed with the Batman figures up here. The other will be put away in storage, and at some point I'll either gift him to someone, or if they become super in demand, he'll go to somebody, somebody will pay for him. Hey, got to pay for my habit somehow. And for us, those of us who do the dollar box diving, we can't afford the statues or even the statues, okay? But we can't afford those. Those are still cool, and it's their style of, each one's style is still very distinctive of the artist. You can see it's the artist's style and everything, so very cool, very cool. All right, so there's a gimmick, comic related, but not a comic, but comic related. Certainly, one of these days I'm going to fall in this chair on video, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up. I'm not going to edit that out. Okay, so today's first comic is a gimmick comic. This is a DC group of DC characters, a DC team that I never really got into that much, but is very popular with DC fans. Saw this foil cover, could not pass it up. This is Metal Men #1. Let's see, it's from October of 1993. And you can see the shine, the flash, the zing, the bling. It's just a great, really cool looking cover. Not the best cover. Got a crease here or there. But you know what? I didn't care. Found it in the dollar box. It was nice to look at, shiny and everything. And so, hey, that's a great gimmick, and that had to go in my box. I don't know. I don't consider this. I don't consider myself very discerning when it comes to this kind of gimmick. I mean, I'm attracted to shiny objects, so that's all there is to that. Now, this next one, This could be qualified. This could qualify, I think, as both a gimmick and an obscure comic. Okay, certainly a gimmick in that it is a, it's an imitation, or we'll just go ahead and say it. It's a ripoff. Okay, and poking fun at, a particular property. In this case, a TV property from the 80s. This is a 1985 comic published by Ripoff Press, and it is the Miami Mice. Miami Mice. So, number 1, 2, first appearance, premiere issue, Miami Mice. Of course, taking off from Miami Vice from the 80s, which was a great show. I really enjoyed that, and it is just a black and white interiors, but it's a fun story. A couple of chuckles in there, and actually, it's the writers are this will be a tough one. S. Hajisek Doberstein, okay, and Mark Bode, with art by Mark Bode. So anyway, Miami Mice meet the big cheese, the first story there. And so, just a kind of a fun knockoff of a great TV show, and even had a color illustrated back cover. And so, just cool stuff. Nice little, cool little obscure comic. It's not, look, we live in an age today, and and I do as much flipping from the dollar box as anyone. Nothing wrong with flipping if it helps you pay for your hobby. But listen, it's still comics, and it's still about the fun, as far as I'm concerned. Still about the fun of collecting. And there's a lot of things out there. They may not be worth anything, and no one's paying anything for them. I mean, look, I could find probably a copy of this for less than $5 on eBay. But, it's fun going out there and looking through the dollar boxes, seeing if you can find it. All right, this next one, not obscure, but it would, because these are floating around in the cheap boxes everywhere, but it would be considered a gimmick comic. This was published. This is a continuity comic published in 1993, and there was a craze at the time going on with these posters that didn't look like anything, and you had to stare at them just right. I have to be careful because even with my corrective lenses on, I've got a lazy eye, and I don't want to go cross-eyed on the camera. But anyway, you'd have to stare at them just right before an image would come into view. And this one, they did this for, I think, a number of these. This particular one is Mrs. Mystic number 8. These are not actually that easy to find in the back issue bins, especially cheap comics. But there it is. If you can, since I can't focus on those and I can't make out what's in them, maybe you can just take a look at it, and maybe you put down in the comments below what's in the image. Let me hold it real still for you. Oh, you're supposed to stare at those 2 little dots up there. All right. Looking. Hope you got it, okay, because I don't want to spend any more time on it. But anyway, Ms. Mystic number 8. There's the, maybe you didn't know about those back in the day, but those had those, stare at the image to see what it reveals covers, okay? That's the short version of what those are called. All right. Now, this next one is also a gimmick, but, I'm not generally into multiple covers, variant covers. It's been so overdone over the last several years. I mean, folks, as far as I'm concerned, even though I'm going to have 3 different covers, 3 different variations of this cover I'm about to show you, it had to do with printings. But a first printing of a book, I shouldn't have more than 2 covers. It just shouldn't. But that's just me. What do I know? Probably not much, you say. But I'm not going to take these out of the plastic, but you'll know these probably when you see them, though I'm surprised how many people still don't realize there's 3 versions of this. But first, these are New Mutants, number 100. Got this one in the dollar box. Got all three of these in a dollar box. New Mutants, number 100. And that's the first printing. What's interesting about this book is over the last few years, it has gone up and down and up and down and up and down. And I've seen one I saw one just tonight on eBay, still sitting at 99 cents, waiting for the first bid with about 4 days to go. So I don't think they're commanding a whole lot. Any printing of them, I don't think is really commanding a whole lot. So there's the first print. Second print was done with the letters or the number 100 in gold in the background. Okay, so there's the second print. It actually took me quite some time to find these. Just, again, not going on eBay and looking for them. I like the hunt. And so going to the dollar boxes, cheap boxes, and looking for those, and eventually got them all 3. And then the third printing, this one actually, The cover's not as wide as it should be, and I'm going to have to look for another one of these, but I got it. That's all that mattered to me. And it had the silver numbers in the back. Now, the second and third printings they've got stack increases. I'm going to get them on the press one of these days, but it's not high priority right now. But anyway, so there's New Mutants number 100, 3 different versions. Now, this next one I'm taking out. It's another Gimmick comic. I'm taking it out because it is just a beautiful, beautiful book. And again, around these parts where we're at, it's readily available in the dollar boxes. I mean, you'd think I'd be plucking more of these out of there, but here's the thing. I don't know if in my area, Oklahoma, the northeastern part of Oklahoma, and part of Missouri, around the Joplin area there, dollar boxes, there's just a bunch of them. There's a lot of dollar boxes, and there's good stuff in the dollar boxes. I've been finding keys and flipping them and this for a couple of years now and doing great on eBay and taking hardly any money out of our personal checking account. So it's my wife loves that. But, you know, every time I think, oh, there's another copy of that, I'm going to go ahead and grab that out of there. That's speculating, and I can't, even at $1 a piece, I can't really do that because I feel like I'm gambling on one day this is going to be hot, and it might be. But at most, I'll get, you know, I'll have 2 of these, and you know, just because they're so gorgeous. But I try not to count on anything, you know, that I don't already know is hot. But anyway, what this is this is a book that was published in February of 1994. A lot of 90s books floating around out there. So it's Nin Jack number 1. That beautiful chromium cover. I'm sorry, I love these, and I know. Some collectors today, they look at those and they say, 90s gimmick covers and crazy prices. And, well, you know what? It's still pretty. And by the way, it's a double cover, okay? And that's really, really beautiful. And, you know, I mean, you can't beat the art and then the art given the chromium treatment. But that is a Joe Quesada cover. And so, anyway, just really nice and blingy and, you know, and zingy and all kinds of other made-up words. But this is Nin Jack number 1. And, yeah, you can say back then it was $3.50 cover price, which isn't much cheaper than comics are today. But you know what? When you find it in the dollar bin, you kind of, all those hard feelings kind of go away. All right? The hard feelings I felt in the 90s when I wanted all those pretty covers, I can get them now. But the ones that they're selling now, I'll wait another 20 years. If I have to get them for $1 a piece. So anyway, hey, look, the way I see it, 99% of everything that's on the new shelves right now will make its way to the dollar bin before long. All right. So anyway, okay, this next one is an actual series. The series is one that just not a lot of people. I find out a lot of people know about it. It's a 4-issue mini-series that was published. Let me see. It's one of those strange issues. I think it was done. It was done through it was Marvel Comics, but I think it was done also kind of in cooperation with Marvel's UK label, but I'm not sure about that. It was published in 1995, all right, and with story by Dan Abnett and pencils by Joe Fonteris. So anyway, this was a series called Nocturne, and Nocturne, you know, was a hero who had his basis on a hero from decades before. The hero was kind of Batmanish, had a cave and everything, and he created this that's issue 1, created this really, really technologically advanced suit, even back in his time, this would have been, I guess, 40s or 50s or something like that. And he just packed it up and he left it. And well, somebody discovers it, and it's still cutting edge even in the modern day, and he takes to the skies and becomes Nocturne. And that's issue 2, issue 3. It was, like I said, 4-issue series. I thought the art was kind of reminiscent of an artist who now, great, I can't think of his name, Alan Davis. But reminiscent of his art. And so just really kind of a neat story. And he faced off against a supernatural kind of ghoulish villain in there. But Nocturne, 4-issue miniseries that look it up. If you find it in a cheap box, you're going to enjoy it. It's a great read, fun read, fun enough that I've kept it all these years, and every once in a while go back and I'll read it again. All right, and so anyway, there's that Nocturne. Now this next one is a gimmick, And it's a gimmick because it is an alternate cover. I know I'm weird in this. I don't like them, but I do. But this one I got because the cover was done by one of my all-time favorite artists who doesn't do much work anymore. Now this was published in 2014, and it is Nova number 100 with the Sal Buscema cover. I actually bought that one on Facebook. No, on eBay. Didn't buy it cheap. I mean, I didn't pay a lot of money for it. I think probably got it for $3 or $4, and then some shipping. But you know, it was Sal Buscema, and Sal doesn't do that much work anymore. And the thing is, over the years, even though Sal has gotten up in age, his work has not suffered. If you look at it closely and you know Sal Buscema's work, that's Sal Buscema out of the 80s and out of the 90s when he was doing Spider-Man, and plus I got it also because I have every issue of the original Nova series, get it here in a minute, the Bronze Age Nova series, and Sal Buscema did a lot of the art in that series, so I had to have that one. That was just a me thing, you know. A gimmick, another cover, but it was worth it to me as a Sal Buscema fan. So, all right, one more. This one's a little bit different. This one came, I spoke, the last video, I talked about Wizard Magazine a little bit from the 90s, how I liked Wizard Magazine. Some people remember Wizard not so fondly. Well, this was a Wizard insert. This is not a first print for this. It's not a first print for this story. It's a reprint, but it was reprinted and it was distributed in Wizard Magazine. I'm looking for the date. It was distributed in Wizard Magazine in wow, I can't see. Well, it was the early 1990s. And for some reason, I can't see it on there. But this was, without me wasting too much time, Open Space number 0. Open Space number 0. Now, I don't remember what book Open Space appeared in first. That's something somebody could answer down in the comments. But beautiful cover, beautiful cover. I don't even know if that image appeared in the original printing of the story, of this particular story. But it is, you know, kind of. Now, here's the thing. It's Alex Ross, but you can tell it's earlier Alex Ross. It is beautifully painted, but not nearly as refined as his work would become eventually, especially like in Marvels and Kingdom and such as that. But anyway, yeah, so Open Space number 0, a Wizard insert from back in the day, early 1990s. My eyesight is getting bad and I can't read that date. I want to say maybe it says 1992 or 3, but I don't know. So anyway, doesn't really matter. What matters is it's a cool book. It may have been mid-90s, but anyway, now you know it's out there if you didn't. And it's Alex Ross. So anyway, hey, there's some gimmicks and obscurities for you. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. But say thanks for watching. And I did want to mention, man, did I learn a lesson last video. I was sure that Joker cover was by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. And it was a Dick Giordano cover. So I felt like without going back and redoing the video and everything, I just decided to make fun of myself a little bit. Hope you enjoyed it. But man, great lesson. Don't go into a video unless you know that you know who did that cover. But anyway, it was a great cover. Of course, Dick Giordano, you can't take anything away from him. Legendary DC artist. And he's very good. And he and Jose Luis Garcia Lopez both, their like has not come along very often. And so great stuff. But the thing is, see, I'm a Marvel guy, and I know a lot more about Marvel artists and writers and Marvel books than I do about the DC stuff. So anyway, yeah, I made a mistake, and I'm probably having a lot tougher time with that than you are. You probably don't care. But I do care that you watched. I appreciate it. Appreciate you subscribing. Appreciate you liking the video. And comment down below. Talk about, hey, what's your favorite Alex Ross work? Did you know about Open Space? Did you not? And what's your favorite gimmick? What's your favorite gimmick cover? You got a favorite chromium cover or foil cover, whatever. But just leave any kind of a message down below. And thanks for watching 4 Colored Commentary. And we'll see you next video.